What's going on YouTube? The Gaming Gift here, back today with another Omnia video, and today we're going to be covering Zack. This one's going to be a talker, mostly because I don't have access to the Final Fantasy JP account. Well, Final Fantasy JP side, nor do I play it. I rarely keep up to date with it, except for the characters, just so I know who's coming and who to save for. But I don't have access, so I can't show you like gameplay and stuff in another video. But we're going to be talking about our boy Zack. He's my second favorite character in all of existence. Sanji still takes the top spot for me, but Zack is still extremely high up there on my favorites. And I've heard a lot of talk if Zack is actually worth to pull right now, and let me explain why. So, come next month, we're more likely going to be getting Chapter 11, which will feature Jack and Lisette and a third character I don't really quite remember because Jack is my target. But it's going to be featuring those two characters, and EX weapons should be releasing next month with Noctis as our going forth character for EX weapons. The thing is, though, Zack is actually going to be our very last character to be released at level 50. Every character coming out from then on, I'm pretty sure Jack and Lisette are included in this, are going to be released at level 60. So they're going to already have automatic access to their level 60 stuff, their passives, and new levels. Zack is going to be the very last character to have the level 50, and his awakening will come later down the road, more than likely a few months from now, considering how fast that they're putting out this stuff for global. We already have our first wave of awakenings. Next month we should be getting the next wave, which includes like Vaughn, characters like that. So that as the previous characters are getting their awakenings, Zack is more likely going to be at the end of it because he is the last character to be released at level 50, which is kind of unfortunate, and it is very unfortunate, and it hurts because this is my dude. But the one thing that I have been doing, even though I just said I don't keep up with JP, I have been extremely hyped for my boy. So I'm going to talk about why Zack is worth it, or if he's not worth it. So the event coming out is going to be shining in someday. Zack is going to be hitting 2 o'clock UTC time for Thursday morning. If you are in Eastern Standard Time like I am, it's going to be 9 o'clock on Wednesday night. Yep, as you can see right here. So Shinra Soldier First Class, upbeat and brimming with vitality, he dreams of becoming a hero, is caught up in a certain incident with his friend Cloud on a mission. It is during their life or death escape from his plight that Zack makes up his mind to become a mercenary. Don't watch that video, it pissed me off. I'm not going to spoil anyone who hasn't played Crisis Core, but they have a lot of nuances to what made everyone upset about Crisis Core. Not upset in a bad way, just hurt our feels very much. So I'm not going to say anything, I'm not going to spoil anything. If you haven't played Crisis Core, get an emulator, go fucking play it, because that game is great. It's fantastic, it's one of my favorite Final Fantasy games. Go play that. But anyway, moving on. So these are his two abilities, Chain Slash and Rush Assault. Chain Slash is a 5-hit melee brave attack, increased brave damage while targeted by the enemy. So if you attack an enemy that's targeting Zack, he will do increased damage. Inflicts lock on to the target for 2 turns, grants turn rate up to self for 3 turns, so he gets faster. He inflicts a lock on, so that enemy is always targeting him, which is perfect against bosses. So he has like a kind of a warrior of light built into him, snow, things like that. And with his 15 CP passive that affects Chain Slash, that lock on is increased to 2 turns. He gets physical resistance to brave damage, and he gets, I think it goes up to 4 turns for the turn rate up. And increased brave damage overall, while being while being targeted by the enemy. I don't remember the numbers exactly off the top of my head, but when he's attacking an enemy that hasn't targeted him, the multiplier to his attack stat for the brave damage for Chain Slash is 120, and I believe when they're targeting him, that jumps up to over 400. So that's a considerable fucking boost. That's a very considerable boost, and considering that he has the lock on built into this, it's very easy to get them to attack you. So it's a very nice ability, massive damage. Rush Assault is an 8-hit melee brave attack and HP attack, so it's a hybrid attack. Increased brave damage while targeted by the enemy, so same with Chain Slash, and grants max brave up to self for 3 turns. With his 35 CP weapon, which is the Buster Sword version Zack, it gives him lock on for 4 turns, increases his overall damage 4 turns for the max brave up, and as well as HP regen. So he gets a minor HP regen because he's going to be targeted and he's going to be taking some HP damage. It gives him the ability to heal up some of the damage that he's taking. So same thing before, I believe the multiplier was 180% without a lock on. It jumps up to over 400 with a lock on. So you're more than likely going to be hitting his max brave at all times with with Rush Assault. You're going to be hitting his max brave, so you're going to be dealing a lot of damage with this max brave up, paired with characters that increase his max brave, such as Saz, Y'shtola, characters like that. He's going to be hitting over for about 15 grand, just about there with his max limit break and everything. So Zack is a top contender for a hitter. I think the best to compare him to as a damage dealer would be Sephiroth. It's easy to compare him to Sephiroth because in total they do about the same damage. Sephiroth starts kind of low and builds up with Octa Slash. It gets up to really high numbers. Zack can pretty much start out at high numbers right from the get-go, so they kind of even out. So comparable to Sephiroth and other high damage dealers, Zack is definitely a top contender with the current level 50s that are still currently in the game. As more level 60s come out and everything, he's going to be outclassed when it comes to damage until he gets that level 60 himself. But that's just how the game rolls. Of course, characters with 10 levels upon our dude is going to, out-damage him in some way. The other characters that are featured on his banner are Leia and Laguna, which are both fantastic grabs, because Leia is a great chase target and does lots of brave damage and brave and HP damage, and also is a bit of a brave battery himself. And Laguna was meta at some point. With his 35 CP, you're going to see some Lagunas again. So that's something to look forward to. Those are also very spicy grabs for the banner itself. Yada, yada, yada. There's nothing left. Alright, so, is it worth it to pull on Zack? I'm going to say yes. Bias aside, since he is one of my favorite characters, bias aside, Zack, even as more level 60s come out, Zack is still a very viable option if you need a damage dealer. Not only that, Leo and Laguna are going to help you out there too. They're both very fantastic characters, but if you're pulling strictly for Zack and hoping to get Zack to build up Zack is a perfect add to your team. If you need him and you don't have that many level 60s, you're out of stuff or whatever, so on and so forth. But even right now, even as we're going into the EX era and characters coming out at level 60, Zack is still a very viable option because he still does a lot of damage, and it's going to be about a month or two down the road, which is a solid time for him to actually be considered to be benchable. And even at that point, when other characters are still coming out, if you need Zack, he's still a fantastic option to go with because he does a lot of damage, he tanks slightly. He's not the greatest tank, but with his HP regen and the lock-ons, he's great for just taking some damage and healing up. So Zack is a viable damage dealer if you need him. Even if you don't need him, and he's still one of the hardest hitters when he comes out. Until next month comes, we have EX weapons and everything. He's still a hard hitter. So if you're pulling strictly for Zack right now, at the moment, you're pulling for a very good future investment because in my eyes, when Zack gets his level 60, when Zack gets his level, when he gets his EX weapon and everything, Zack is S tier and up. The numbers that I've seen this man dish out are absolutely insane, and no one else takes any damage on the field because Zack also then gives himself some shield to negate damage in the future. So, is it worth it to pull on this banner? Yes. Very, very, very highly yes. Bias aside, this banner is extremely worth it to pull on. One, because Laguna and Leo are still fantastic characters to grab and will help you out even while level 60s are still coming out, because they're going to get them sooner than Zack. Zack himself is still great to use at the moment and to build up for a future investment, because he is going to be a literal monster when his level 60 comes out and he gets his EX weapon. Right now, ruling JP, it seems like it's Fran. Like I said, I don't keep up with it much, but I've seen what that woman can do with overflow and everything, and it's literally the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in this game, ever. And Zack is not that far behind her. So, yes, Zack is very much worth it to pull on, guys. Make sure you are definitely giving it a shot. You don't have to burn yourself out all that much if you aren't willing to do so. He will be back later on if you want to save for Chapter 11 or Noctis with his EX weapon coming out next month. That's perfectly understandable. But if you are ready to go in, grab your boy Zack. By all means do so. I know I am. I'm going to be putting up a video as soon as this banner drops, if I can, to get that out there for you guys, to show off my pulls. But yes, very much worth it. A very great banner. 335 CPs, all fantastic characters who are going to get very, very good later on, and who will be fantastic when they drop. So, look forward to it, guys. It's coming out in 2 days. I cannot wait. Oh, I cannot wait. Ooh, I'm so excited. But anyway, that'll do it for the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing Zack pulls all over YouTube, all over Facebook if you're in groups and stuff. I look forward to seeing it comes Wednesday. Wednesday is the day of Zack FAIRE. So enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Thank you so much for watching. The Gaming Gif is signing off. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys Wednesday.